Let's get nasty. Let's get nasty. Let's do it. Yes, squeeze it.
Man, you to grow. Grow, motherfucker.
Alright, so the first exercise for my pull day is going to be weighted pull-ups. Now the reason I start off with weighted pull-ups is because, well, at the start of your workout, that's when you're at your strongest. And so you're trying to use that to your advantage. So weighted pull-ups and pull-ups in general are the best exercise for your back, no comparison. And if you can do around 10 to 15 pull-ups, then you should absolutely be doing weighted pull-ups by now. That's just going to skyrocket your gains when it comes to your back. So a few key things when it comes to pull-ups is making sure your form is right. So your hands are about shoulder width apart, your chin up to the bar, or even above the bar if you can. Another thing is to control your weight. Make sure you're not just trying to pull yourself up as fast as possible and doing it CrossFit style. You're trying to build muscle. So this is bodybuilding. You're trying to use all your back muscles and do it in a controlled way. As you can see, I'm doing here. I'm not just doing it as fast as possible. I'm controlling the reps, trying to use all of my back muscles. So again, if you can do 10 to 15 pull-ups or even 10, start putting on some 5 kilos, and do weighted pull-ups. That's just going to progress you when it comes to back much faster. And really what I'm trying to do here with these pull-ups is just to exhaust my back. And also my arms are warmed up, which is great because next set and next exercise is going to be arms. Now, one little trick here, if you don't have equipment, fancy equipment to help you do weighted pull-ups, just put a dumbbell or any sort of weight in your backpack and just do weighted pull-ups like that, as you can see I'm doing here. This does the trick just as well as any other fancy equipment. And then once you're done, you've hit failure with the weighted pull-ups. Now you just hit failure with free weight pull-ups. And trust me, this is the way to absolutely destroy and build your back. Weighted pull-ups first to failure, drop the weight, and then go free weight until you can't do a single rep again. Okay, so the next exercise is going to be incline dumbbell curls. Incline dumbbell curls are definitely top 5 bicep exercises, 100%. The reason is because, well, first of all, your form, it's very hard to fuck up the form when it comes to incline dumbbell curls. So make sure your back is nice and planted on the bench. The bench is about 30 degrees tilted. And when it comes to this exercise, you want to be making sure the dumbbells are close to your body, as much as close to your body as possible. So as you can see, I'm doing it with very strict movement. So controlling the weight. Also, make sure to pick a weight that's not too heavy, because when it comes to anything incline, the weight that you normally do gets like twice as heavier. So I'm doing about 12.5 kilos here, and I can do about maybe 12 reps on each hand because it just gets so heavy when it's on incline. That's why this exercise is so good. It becomes very hard to do reps because the weight just honestly gets heavier. Number 2, it's very hard to mess up the form. And number 3, this really isolates the muscle. So your biceps are going to just be targeted full on, and yeah, they're going to be on fire, and this is how they grow. Now time for the drop set. I go down to about 7.5 kgs, and with this drop set, you're trying to keep the form well. You're trying to just burn the biceps and just go to failure, and also make sure to control the weight. So don't be jerking the weights around and not doing it properly. As you can see, I'm doing it nice and controlled. Alright, final little set. If you feel like you didn't finish your set on to failure, just grab the dumbbells again and make sure you go to absolute failure, as I'm doing here. I felt like I still had a bit more energy on me, so I just grabbed the dumbbells again, and yeah, I went ham. This exercise is a must in the gym. Please try it. Alright, so this next exercise is one that I saw on social media. I forgot the guy who was doing it, but basically this exercise, you want to sit on the lat pull down machine to the opposite, and you want to grab some same weight as the incline dumbbell curls. So I'm doing 12.5 kgs here, and the reason you want to do this exercise is because, well, it's impossible to mess up the form. It's really concentrated on your bicep. You make sure you go to failure, and yeah, it's an amazing exercise. So as you can see, my elbows are restricted from moving around and me cheating the curls, because there's something behind me that's holding it. Those 2 foams there, they're just correcting my form all the time, and I can make sure I go to absolute failure with amazing form. So as you can see, there's no cheating when it comes to this exercise. Key here, control the weight. Your form, you don't have to worry about it because you just can't mess up. And third, just go to failure on this exercise. Alright, now time for the drop set. Same thing, control the weight and go to failure. Your form, you don't have to worry about it, which is amazing because, well, you're being restricted by those two foams holding your elbows right in place. You can see nowhere in this exercise did I ever cheat. It's all strict curls, great form. And if you take a look at my face, I'm absolutely suffering. My biceps are on fire here. This is a great exercise. Alright, if you feel like you still have some energy, grab those dumbbells and just keep doing curls until failure. As you can see, I'm doing here. You want to leave nothing left in the tank. This is how you grow. Alright, so the next exercise for back is going to be lat pull downs. Classic lat pull downs. So with these lat pull downs, I'm gonna go about medium weight, which for me is about 60 kilos to 63 kilos. I'm gonna be doing it with strict form, as you can see, pretty good form. Trying to use my elbows to pull down rather than my arms. Trying to feel my back all the way, squeezing and contracting, and just doing it with proper form and strict, and controlling the weight is key here. It's key to this movement. Drop set, I'm going to go down to about 40 kilos and just keep the form well, control the weight and fill your back all the way. Now, something else I do is I switch it up. So I'll add row pullovers. This is just an extra. It's a great exercise and it's just going to make sure that your lats are going to be on fire. And with this exercise, just good form, controlling the weight and trying to fill your back as much as possible. Trust me, your lats and your back are going to burn on this one. On this exercise, I go to about 17.5 to 20 kilos or even lower. Okay, time for the drop set. I go all the way down to 12 to 15 kilos and I'm just trying to put my back on as much pressure as possible. Trying to fill my back the whole way, trying to squeeze and contract, control the weight and get my back to be on fire basically. Alright, so back to the lat pull down, going about 6 kilos here again. And same thing really. I'm just trying to control the weight with good form. I'm not trying to do it as fast as possible. And I'm always just thinking in my mind to pull the weight down using my elbows. So that way I know I'm using my back, not my arms. One other thing else that I would say is pulling the bar very close to your chest or under your chin. That's going to ensure you're doing it properly. Okay, time for the drop set, dropping it down to about 40 kilos and trying to pump out as much as possible with good form and controlling the weight. Make sure your feet are really planted to the ground and you're not going to be moving around in this exercise. Alright, time for the row pull downs again. I'm going about 17.5 kilos here, trying to fill my back, trying to get that contraction and always going to failure on back. With this exercise, what you're trying to do is create a circle when you're doing a rep. So as you can see, my hands are curving. The way I'm doing it, I'm not just pulling it to my chest because that's not actually going to make your back grow, and that's the wrong way of doing this exercise. What you want to do is you're trying to curve it and pull it down to your belly button. You're not just trying to pull it straight back. Alright, last set on the lat pull down. I'm going a bit lighter now. I'm just trying to squeeze, feel the muscle, control the weight and go to failure. Alright, time for the drop set. I go much lighter now, trying to squeeze that back, trying to control the weight always. Good form, good technique, going to failure. Okay, last set for the row pull downs. I'm going about 12 to 15 kilos here, trying to fill my back as much as possible and go to failure. Copy my form here. This is really good form. Tilt your back around 45 degrees and pull that row to your belly button. Squeezing, feeling the muscle and controlling the weight. That's key here. Drop set. Honestly, on this drop set, I'm just trying to make sure my back is just exhausted and I've gone to failure. You could tell I'm really feeling it here. I'm able to barely do the reps. Alright, so the next exercise for biceps is going to be rope curls. So these curls, you're just trying to maintain strict form. Don't go too heavy on these. Maintain strict form, control the weight, and just squeeze the biceps and feel that mind-muscle connection. That's what you're trying to do here. As you can see, my elbows, they're not moving around too much. I'm doing the reps with, control, not going too fast. Just trying to squeeze and feel that bicep with strict form. Nice little drop set, trying to go to failure and just exhaust the muscle. You want to make sure you're really struggling on this exercise. Little flex. Alright, now the other way around. Now I feel like I could go a bit heavier, making sure my elbows are tucked into place. They could be a bit more tucked if I'm being possible, but it's not that bad. Pulling the ropes all the way up to my chest, feeling that bicep, controlling the weight, really just trying to fill the exercise here. Alright, one tip that I would give for this exercise is facing opposite of the machine like I'm doing right now is key. That really just puts all the stress onto your bicep and not your back, and it's just gonna make sure that you're using your biceps like 99% of the time, you know? So you're not using your back or your shoulders to pull, you're using just your arms. Alright, so the next exercise is going to be cable pullovers with also some single hand pullovers. With this exercise, you can go a bit heavy and you can also go light, whatever that you feel. And you're trying to pull the weight to your stomach. It's better that you pull it to your belly button. That's how you're going to ensure you're hitting your lower lats and your lats in general. Alright, time for the drop set. Now, for this exercise, just make sure to control the weight. Right, time for the single hand pulls. It's better if you do this exercise slow and controlled, and you're just trying to feel your lats. Whichever hand you're trying to do it, you're trying to feel that lat. So on the right hand now, I'm really trying to squeeze and feel my right lat and just really doing this exercise to failure. The key here is controlling the weight and just really trying to feel your lats, squeezing and contracting the muscle. Go to failure. Alright, other hand, same thing. Controlling the weight, not going too heavy on this one. Just feeling the lat as much as possible, trying to squeeze and contract. Good form is also key on this exercise. If you're not hitting it properly, then you're not going to hit the lats, and that's just going to be a waste of time. So make sure you're tucking your elbow in and getting that lat in there. Alright, back to the cable pullovers. One more tip that I would give for this cable pullovers is, just making sure you're really using your lats and not your upper back, unless that's your goal. So to use your lats, you want to make sure you're pulling the handle to your belly button. And as you're doing it, you're curving your body, as you can see I'm doing right now. Even just pulling it to your stomach is a good measurement. Alright, I always try to make sure to do drop sets for each exercise. So for the cable pullovers, I'll do drop sets. So will I do it for the single hand pullovers. Again, back to the single hand, trying to feel that muscle, trying to squeeze and contract. For each exercise, I do drop sets, every single exercise. So I'll do my first set and then I'll do the drop set. Now you can see a better angle of my lat here. You can see I'm really using my lats, trying to tuck in that elbow into my lats. So I'm ensuring that I'm using my lats. Honestly, a general rule of thumb is just to pull your elbows down to your waist. That's going to make sure you're really using your lats.